Hey guys, so for those of you watching my December update video, you'll know I'm putting this Predator engine in this cub set for my buddy. So yesterday after work I went to the junkyard and I was looking for an electric PTO clutch and I found one. Paid 50 bucks for it and it came with some goodies. Alright, so goodies, yeah. And it was all together when I found it. Tins and all, everything's there except for the top air cleaner cover. So I pulled the PTO clutch off, and this was laying upside down. I'm like, wonder if it's any good. Pulled the PTO off, pulled the front cover off, everything's intact. Well, that's strange. Normally these things throw a rod and they're done, and that's why people get rid of them. Okay, so 50 bucks, whole deal. Bring it home, I crank it over. This doesn't sound funny, but it cranked about 5 times and then boom, blew a huge flame out of the exhaust and made my ears ring. And it did it twice. I stopped after the second time. So I checked to make sure it was in time because it had silicone all the way around there. I didn't do it. Thought, well, maybe somebody took it apart and it's not in time. It was in time, put it back together, pulled the spark plugs out and cranked it. And it blew, of course, a bunch of oil out of the cylinders, which I probably should have done in the first place, but oh well. So, then I took my thumb and I put over this cylinder. Yep, got compression. Put my thumb over this one, and I heard it thumping. Every time I put my thumb over it, it was pop, 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 but I couldn't tell where it was coming from. Well, I pulled the cylinder head, and I don't know what you guys think, but the valve is supposed to close all the way. Let me even rotate the engine for you. See? I'm rotating the engine and you can see all the way around that valve. So I'm like, well, that's weird. Yeah, see, you can see in there, kind of. It is not sealing. And I was like, well, that's weird. They must have the valves flipped around because normally exhaust valves are smaller than intake valves. It's like, okay, here, unless I'm getting that backwards. So I take the other head off. This is where it gets weird. Both valves are the same size. Brand new piston. Which I think that's in the right way. So now I'm scratching my head. What in the hell is going on here? So I'm thinking somebody took this apart and put a new piston in it, put the wrong valve in that side, wouldn't run right, and they gave up and scrapped it. So here's what we're gonna do. Holy, it's a beautiful day out. I'm gonna go out to this here shed. It is chock full of stuff and junk and tractors. We're gonna put our kickstand down, open this dirt, and we're going to go here to our parts, Briggs and Strattons. Both these ones have thrown rods. Cranks are destroyed. I needed the shaft to make an adapter, so I took advantage of junk crank. This is good for if I need to. Maybe I can someday do a horizontal to vertical to horizontal shaft conversion. Anyway, I got another 18 horse Briggs in the Bolins. So anyway, that looks a little different. Maybe not. We're gonna yank the head off this one. Give me just a second. The spooky haunted door. Now it's windy out. I don't know if you guys can tell. But here it looks like I was right. Exhaust valve is smaller. Which I believe exhaust, maybe? Is that what that stands for? Yeah. See? Exhaust port, intake port. Intake valve is slightly bigger. So I think maybe somebody's got two of the wrong valves in there. Let's pull this head off real quick. Same story. This head. It sat outside and got some dirt daubers in it and all kinds of other stuff. Look, you can see. This is the side with the throwing rod. But shh, no holes in the piston. Look, yeah, junk. So, it looks like somebody took two, oh, I'm sure it's puking oil everywhere. Oh well. Looks like somebody took two freaking, oh, that was cute. Two freaking, yeah, I can't think. Intake valves on the one cylinder and switch the valves around on the other one. So I'm gonna bust the intake, or actually I only need the exhaust valve out of this one, and then just switch the two around on the other side. Alright, stay tuned, we'll see what we can get done here. Okay, so got an exhaust valve and the exhaust port on this side now. And I got the valve switched around on this side. So I'm going to throw her back together quick and see what happens. Okay, let's see if I can do this one-handed. We're all back together. I've already tried this, so I know the results, but you don't. Pretty sure the smoke is from the ether and all the oil in the cylinders. There's no fuel hooked up to this right now, so I gotta come up with something here. But I don't think the governor's quite right because it's at idle right now and it's trying to rev out. So yeah. Yeah. Something isn't quite right, but we'll get her figured out. I'm gonna try and hook some fuel up to it real quick. Okay, instead of hooking the fuel system up, I decided to see why it doesn't fucking why it won't idle, why it wants to rev up. Oh look, got a light gun. All right, you see there where the stopper is. You can't see. What the fuck? Why can't I? You see in there? Yeah. That's all the farther I can move the governor. And it's not touching the idle adjustment screw. Look in here. I don't know if you can tell, but the little wing that the governor itself pushes on. See how it moves in and out? The faster it spins, these weights move out and push that little finger, and it pushes on this wing which controls the speed. The idiot that mixed the valves around, I can't even talk, set this wrong because it hits the casting of the engine. Well, it's getting pretty late, it's starting to get dark out, it's getting windy and chilly, and the missus is going to be calling soon, so I'm going to wrap this up here. I'm just going to throw a tarp over it, call her good enough, and we'll pick this up at a later date. Should be easy to remedy this last problem. Well, last at this moment known problem. But yeah. Okay guys, stay tuned. Okay kids, this is the last part to the Briggs and Strat, Junkyard Briggs and Strat Resurrection video. Uh-oh. It wasn't doing that a second ago. Interesting. Not really sure what to think about that. Like seriously, I walked in to get my phone and it started doing that. Splendid. I must have too much oil in it still. Or there's no guts in the... Well, no, look, there is guts in there. Well, anyway. I might just have to block the one off. Huh. Strange. Anyway, I guess I'll just have to block that off. Hang on a sec. Okay. If one breather on one side of the valve cover is good enough for a small block Chevy, one breather is good enough for a, what, 49 cubic inch Briggs & Stratton twin cylinder. Anyway, I made a video like the night after I'd gotten this back together and tried to start it on ether, where I started up on gas. The problem with the governor was that this rod here was straightened out and it needs to be bent like this. It was chuffing gas out the vent, so the float was stuck. Took the car apart, cleaned it. It was a quart over full in oil, which is why I thought it was blowing oil out just like that, except worse. And I thought the quart over full issue was why it was doing that, but I don't know. For now, it can live like that. So let me get this started here quick. There we go. The grinding, the weird roughness you hear, I think, is either the pulleys or the transmission, which I'm not all that concerned about. I mainly wanted this for the engine and the PTO clutch for the other project. We got no more gas coming out of the breather, which is good. It's idling nice, running on both cylinders. It's doing the occasional Briggs like stutter that they all do, but no oil out of this breather, and it feels like that's adequate enough. So we're just going to block this one off, and it can live like that. Which I think you can see it's coming out there. I'm gonna silicone that up. But yeah, it sounds good. We'll see, most of the scariness goes away when you push the clutch in. So yeah, let's throttle it up here quick. Pretty good, other than the stupid breather issue, which I have no idea why it's pushing so much oil out. It looked like there's a little tab that blocks off a hole to prevent that from happening in there. You wouldn't know what I'm talking about unless you have one apart to see, but it's bent like it should be, I think. I don't know, I can live with one breather, so yeah, awesome. So got a good running Briggs. Maybe I'll bring the steering column down out of that other parts one I got that provided the engine that's on the Boland's HT20. Put the steering column in this so I can drive this, see if the transmission is any good. But all right, guys, this video is probably like 15 minutes long, so I'm going to cut her off here. I'm going to leave this run for a while, and sometime soon you'll probably see this in another tractor. Awesome. Who knows? Maybe this tractor, maybe the other Boland's, maybe something else entirely different. But I got another surprise for you guys, but you'll just have to wait and see on that one. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Take care.